So we're back at Cadwell Park again for round one of Time Attack UK 2025. It's Bank Holiday Monday. Been a couple of years now since we've competed in a full championship of Time Attack. Something that's still really close to our heart, and the format's something that we really enjoy. We just had a 2-year break really to get some life stuff done, to enjoy some other things and just take a bit of a break from what is a stressful and arduous sport, to be honest. So we made some decisions, talked to a few people, and decided to come back and give the championship another bash this year. Put together a nice group of people to spend our weekends with, which was one of the main things that drew us back, to be honest. We've not done a great deal in the 2 years we've been away from Time Attack. We've done a couple of cherry-picked events such as Quick 60 and the Boxing Day plum pudding event, but not really done that much. So we're quite excited to be back here and see what the car's capable of now, how the driving is, what the championship's like, because there's been a lot of changes as well. So we got here last night and managed to get through scrutineering without any problems.
So I have caught up with a familiar face, but we've not seen you around for a couple of years, Mr. Darren Spooner. How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm very good. It's nice to be back and at a sunny Cadwell Park.
So for people who are not aware, and we've seen this car many times at Time Attack, but for people who are not aware, this Peugeot 205 is not your average Peugeot 205, so please tell us a bit of information about it.
Okay, so I guess all the important bits, we're 840 kilos and between 500 and 600 horsepower. We're running a 1616 valve TU5 J4 engine from the 106 GTI, with a whole host of custom trick developmental parts such as manifolds, sequential gearboxes, dry sump systems, tubular manifolds, turbochargers. You name it, we have tried to push the envelope and make this thing as quick as it possibly can be over the past 14 years of doing Time Attack on and off. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's it. I guess all the important bits covered.
And obviously this the crazy bodywork as well. Yeah,
so we've obviously, as the car gets faster and faster, the cars are notorious for moving about quite a lot. So 150, 160 mile an hour without the aero pack and the wide track, it would get very lively to the point where I really wasn't comfortable at places like Croft with big runoff and big speed. So yeah, I don't know how many years ago now, 6, we set about creating an aero package to basically be able to use the horsepower, because back then you could only run 330-ish competitively. The rest of the time it would just wheel spin, and it wasn't a quick way to drive the car. Went back a couple of steps then, because I know nothing about aerodynamics, but gradually evolved to where it is today, which is pretty formidable, I think, as far as the four-wheel drive cars go. Nothing really ever challenges it as far as I've come across, and yeah,
how much wider is it now then?
What is it going to be now? About 4.5 inches wider at the front, and just slightly less, 4 inches at the back. Obviously all the front end's doing all the work, so putting the power down, turning the corners, the back wheels really just get dragged along.
So that enables you to run a much wider setup at the front then?
Well, yeah, I mean it does, but the front tyres get cooked really quickly because they're doing all the work, so the back tyres don't really do anything, so they're just getting dragged along. As I was saying before, but like we use the rear wing a hell of a lot to try and stabilise the back, because the back is very lively. But once you do get some heat into it, which takes 2 or 3 laps time, it does settle down and become a really neutral car. So that's just how I like it. I don't like it oversteery or understeery. If it slides, it's going to slide with all 4 wheels, which is really nice. So yeah, I mean it's come a hell of a long way. It's not something that happened overnight, and I enjoy the development side of things, the testing and the prototyping as much as I enjoy the driving, so it's kind of a win-win for me really with the car.
Yeah, you're out in Club Pro, and there's a lot of competition out there this season.
Yeah, there is. Certainly, the class has evolved from when we were in here 2 or 3 years ago, when I think there was 3 of us. Don't know final numbers. We must be 6 or 7, I think. I haven't looked properly yet. So yeah, loads of competition, which is great, because that's what inspires you and drives you on to go faster. No one likes to get beaten, so if someone's beating you, you push that bit harder, don't you? So yeah, it's great. You know, big class. Car feels fantastic already. So really lucky to come back after 2 years, having changed so much, and it be sort of pretty quick straight out of the box, but always loads more to come, and with a proper driver even more, I think.
You're very, very modest. And you've had 2 sessions out this morning. How's it been out there?
Yeah, it's good. Had some wandering on power, so put power down, and it's almost like a sort of steering related issue, which I can't really put my finger on at the moment. Whether something's flexing and bending and causing the toe to change, that's kind of what it feels like. So we've been at like 40% throttle all day, with just little dabs here and there to try and isolate what it is. We haven't found anything yet, so that's a bit unnerving, certainly at the high speed stuff. But yeah, if you keep the throttle fairly neutral and don't use full power, you can just about muscle it round, but it is hard work. My back's killing me now, and my shoulders. But yeah, it's really good, and we're going to tear it down a bit now through lunch break. See if we can see what's wrong, get that fixed. I don't really carry many spares, so we haven't got a lot to do. But if we can just isolate it when we get back to shop for round 2, hopefully that's out of the way. And yeah, when we get back to using full throttle again, it should be pretty awesome. It should be awesome.
So hopefully some more to come then.
Yeah, literally, I'm really rusty. You know, I haven't driven it for a year or so, and time attack's a different format to some of the other stuff that I've been doing. You know, it kind of means something as a bit of a veteran of it. You want to come out fighting and show that you've still got it almost. But yeah, we've got plenty more in the tank. Just steady away at round 1.
Brilliant. Well, it's so nice to have you back, and thanks for talking to us.
All right, see you later. Take care. Bye bye. Thank you. Cheers. So as always, the format of the 4 sessions hasn't changed. Session 1 today is going to be warm up, which we're just preparing to head out for now, and we'll report back on that shortly.
Perhaps we may dodge a bullet this time. It all depends on where the car is stopped. If it's in a position where there's a high chance of something else coming off in the same spot and smacking into it, then we'll call a red flag and try to move that car. If it's actually out of the way and it's not going to really bother anyone, then we can just wave a yellow and people can just drive past it. Oh, never mind. There we go. Red flag has now been thrown.
So back in from session 1 today, which is warm up. Not a lot to report really. We had some good clean laps. Unfortunately, red flagged after lap 3, so that was a little bit disappointing. But to be honest, we'd pretty much done what we needed to do. We had some prototype inner CV joints running on the car for this event, which we've never tested. And unfortunately, one of them has come away and thrown some grease about the place, so that's made a bit of a mess. We have also been given dispensation this year to run the old Nankang AR1 tyre from 2023 due to our quite rare 15-inch by 9-inch rims. Yokohama did not offer a control tyre for that size wheels, which would have meant full set of rims, new drive shafts, new hubs, new everything really to get a tyre that would, or a wheel that would work with the control tyre. So not quite sure where that leaves us at the moment, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. A lot of hearsay is that the Yokohama is the better tyre, but I've always enjoyed and found the AR1 to be decent, so I'm not too concerned about that at the moment. But all in all, the car felt really well balanced. Had a little bit of a lively back end, but I think with the tyres being so old, you know, they're 2 years old now, it's just taking a bit of time to get some heat into them. Lots of power, brakes were fantastic. Just going to put a little bit of wing on to help with the rear end stability and drop the pressures a bit. And then we're going to head out for session 2 very shortly.
Age doesn't really come into it, generation doesn't really come into it. And goes faster than anyone else. The 128.6 there from him.
So we're back in from session 2, now called Attack 1. Busy session, lots and lots of quick cars. Few retirements and things, but luckily no red flags. I sort of went out with a bit of a plan in that session, to be honest, which was to attack from lap 1, which the car is notoriously good at. Loads and loads of grip, no issues whatsoever for first couple of corners, flat out. So we returned a 1:34.7 on that session, which was, I think that's a really good lap. I've not been able to check PBs yet, but it's got to be there or thereabouts, and came back, I think, first in class, 7th overall in the whole of the pro class. So really happy with that. Car felt fantastic. Still a lot of wheel spin. We are running quite a lot of power, so we're just over the 500 horsepower mark. So I'm not kind of surprised. We have had to tape up the radiator because temperatures are plummeting with the speeds around here. There's that much cooling through the rad that it keeps dropping the engine ECU back into like cold start. So throttle response and things goes out the window at that point. Back end still a little bit wayward, but we're using 6th gear for sort of over half the circuit now. So speeds are very, very high, and the aero is obviously doing its job, but the contact with the road is obviously struggling a little bit with the bigger speeds. The circuit seems really, really busy. The spectators are everywhere, and all the grandstands and things are full. So that's really nice to be able to put on a proper show for the people who've paid money to come and spectate. So that's really, really nice. The sun's still out. After a bit of a stormy night here last night, it was very wet. So really pleased with decent weather and running conditions. I'm really looking forward to Attack 2. So sadly, the Garmin didn't capture the quickest lap we had today, our personal best, but we've uploaded a 1:35 from Attack 2, just to give you some kind of perspective on the kind of pace the car had today.
At which point his Spooks Peugeot 205 balances out nicely. Of course, like he said, the rear end of the car very light, which means it can be quite difficult to get that scrubbing and that heat into the rear tires, which of course means that if your front's gripped up and the rear isn't, well then the rear is going to move around even more than before. But he's got the aero, luckily, to help try to push that rear down and warm up the rears with the fronts, and then the car gets nice and balanced. Very interesting stuff. Great interview. Really enjoyed that. Thank you, Susie. So there he goes. Darren Spooner now is on your screens. Well, there's a few seconds here or there, but you know, you can give me some leeway with that as he begins his next flying lap. Spooner there comes through Hall Bends in that Spooks Peugeot 205. Absent from Time Attack for a little while, but back for 2025. And like he said to Susie, keen to have a real go at the championship. I believe he's around for the whole year. Full season entry in his freshly redeveloped car. Oh, and he comes off the track. Whoa, that was the toe issue that he was talking about. You can see his right wheel suddenly let go and started jiggling around, and that was exactly the toe issue, I think, that he was telling Susie about, has made itself known. What a great capture to have that on camera, because we could really see that happen. That was literally the issue that he was talking about with Susie just now, and it seems to have come to a head there. Fascinating stuff. Of course, that was a little bit out of his hands, so he couldn't choose where to put the car. It ended up where it ended up. When your steering's broken, there's not a great deal you can do about it. And I wonder if that's going to bring out a red flag. I guess time will tell. We've already got flashing, being waved yellows in that sector.
So I've just got back from quite an eventful Attack 2. So the third heat today at Cadwell Park. We were going really well, actually. The car felt fantastic. Got out near to the front. Building the pace, I think saw some 136s, 135s, and then unfortunately on the fastest part of the circuit, just as you turn up the hill, from the start and finish line, we had wishbone failure, which has caused quite a lot of damage to the car, actually, as the wheel went back into the wheel arch and stunned the door and the wing and the side skirt and ripped the drive shaft out and a few other nasties. So bit disappointed, bit gutted, because today's been going really, really well. So to summarise today's event, overall extremely happy. A massive 3 seconds off my PB here, and for car 13 as well. An unbelievable margin. We don't shave that amount of time off. We haven't done for years. So really, really pleased. It came quite easily as well. I know it sounds a bit stupid, but sometimes you have to really work for these things. But it was just there straight away. I think we'd only done 6 laps all day when that time popped up. So. It really was promising to be something very special today. However, it wasn't meant to be. We had a great day, great team again, lovely weekend, sun's been shining, lots of great food, lots of bake chat, and lovely day, and looking forward to Donington Park in 3 weeks' time.